of my face is red, with breasts, with a shoulder of a friend, with a corner of a desk, with communion, with a yes, and I tell you.
Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. I'm Robert John, locked down in Toronto, and we got Skyler opening us up with the bong rip. How you doing there, brother?
Oh, baby. Pull me, baby.
Pull. And Mike in Vancouver City, also Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, also Canada.
Also
Born
Canada.
and raised.
More of like the asshole of Canada, but
It's the butt,
Dude,
for sure.
I'm like the vagina of Canada.
No.
Everything good starts here. Oh, yeah.
no way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Nothing
name
good
a better
ever.
place in Canada. You've never even been past Manitoba.
I've never
Okay?
been out of Ontario.
I've been in Campbell.
That's
And I was
not
in-
past Manitoba, dude. You gotta go back to fucking high school. Okay?
I
Get
had
some
a-
geography.
I had to lay over in fucking Alaska once.
That's kind of cool.
Doesn't count. Not Canada. Not
That's
Canada.
further
Doesn't
than
count.
you,
Doesn't count. Where did you lay over to Alaska? Going to Korea?
When I came home from Korea, some guy had like his appendix blew up on our flight, and they had to
Cook.
emergency land him.
He couldn't just
That
like,
could have been me. That could have been
Yeah.
me.
but he couldn't just like hold it for like a couple more hours. Like he made everyone
no.
get off.
No, I'm telling you, when you know, you know.
Yeah,
Okay,
we were
from
fucking,
experience.
We were like 4 hours into like a 16-hour flight. Like,
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I guess you haven't even left.
yeah, no, I swear to you, it was like, you know, when they're just like, okay, we've officially reached like cruising altitude, like you can like put your feet up and take your seatbelts off, right? It was like that moment, and like they turn all the light. You know when they turn the lights off?
The guy's like hands up, like I hate to be the one, but
No, but it was
you know.
basically just like the lights turned off, and then like 10 minutes later the lights turned on, and you just heard the like boom. Like, if there is a doctor on the plane, can they please come to like J42 if there's a doctor on the plane, kind of thing, right? And it was like, what the fuck? Like you hear about this on movies, right? And
For sure.
and you see that like somebody get up and walk down to the fucking thing, and then
Yeah.
like 2 seconds later you just hear again like boom. And it's like, you may have noticed that we've begun to descend. We have to make emergency landing in Anchorage,
Oh,
Alaska. Again, it
So
was
did
funny
they
too
did they
because
give you an update on the way out? Like did they phone in like, oh buddy made it, he
did.
survived?
they did.
They did?
They did. Yeah.
Dude,
when
how
we were,
that is so great.
when we landed, when we fucking
The thing is, you
landed.
know, if they don't, the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
died,
He's
right?
done.
You can
It
just
was-
assume now
Goner.
forever. If they don't ever update you again, the person died.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing too, like this is such a weird story, but like there was 2 calls for doctors because somebody
yeah.
else then was sick on the plane and needed a doctor.
No. He
Why
caught
would they
it, he
call?
caught
Why
the
didn't they just
cold, the
ask fucking
appendix.
Carol in like 7B
Because
to
this-
get back up?
It was because I think that like the one doctor was needed for the guy with his
How
appendix,
fucking
Oh,
selfish
shit.
is that?
and then
How
someone else
fucking
got sick, so they
selfish.
needed like a second doctor.
Second doctor.
Wait, but did they get off at the same time?
They both got off in Anchorage.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's fine, that's fine. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking Carol gets sick right after the plane lands. You guys
Yeah.
take off again. Now they need a second doctor for
Fucking
Carol?
Carol.
What
Yeah.
if like
Fuck,
even
you're holding it, Carol.
like
you're holding it.
you're Carol, you're on the plane
You
and you're
lied, Carol. You lied.
yeah, you're Carol. Lights go off. You're like, I don't feel
Yeah.
good at all. And then
No.
like Bob 3 rows up's appendix is getting out. So like we're gonna land the plane, and this fucking bitch is still thinking like, well, mine's not that bad. I'm gonna hold out. Maybe they can get me to
Yeah,
Edmonton.
totally. I think it's just gas.
It's just
Yeah.
gas.
She's yes, and then she dumps out in her fucking pants, and it's like, no, now you gotta get off.
Now you gotta get off.
Yeah.
No, but then
Yeah, you have to leave.
But then we
you have to
landed
leave, Carol.
in Detroit. Like the flight was from Seoul to Detroit, and when we got around the tarmac and like we were taxiing over to like our landing spot, you know, they were just like, it's 6:45 in the afternoon. Temperature is 20 degrees, and the patient or like the person that they didn't say the guy's name, but like the person that got off the plane, can like report to you is like doing fine and has recovered from surgery.
I hope they just
again,
made that up.
like that's how fucking long we were in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
Was, like the guy got off, had surgery, and was
Yeah.
already out.
He's already back on solid foods.
Dude,
Yeah, back
they
on solid.
treat the appendix. They treat the appendix better than anything I've ever seen in the hospital. Honestly, like of all the things I've ever been to the hospital for and witnessed while I was there, nothing gets you in faster than an appendix. And I, again, know from experience, but also just like hearing that, like you guys were on a 14-hour flight. So within 10 hours, he got off the flight, got his appendix out, and he's fully recovered and now is working his day job again, or whatever he said.
Yeah, wait
right?
for
Like
the
he went
next
back
plane.
to work.
Getting the plane
He's
to,
on
like-
the next plane. Yeah. Well,
He's
it's funny
back
when
in
I
the
got
air.
mine out. When I got mine out, I was flying to Ontario, right? And
Yeah.
it's like I asked them. The first thing I asked them when I like was conscious and not like looking for a blowjob, a blowy. I was like, "How soon can I fly?" And they're like, "Oh, like tonight." And I was like, "Seriously?" And they're like, "Well, do you have to?" And I was like, "Well, it's like 3 days." And they're like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna be fine." And it's like, okay. Felt like such a bitch, you know. I would have figured, you know, like you
That
fucking
would
took
get-
a part of my insides out that maybe I need a couple days to bounce back, but no.
But I mean, like, it's so I don't even know how they would have done it to this guy back then. But like yours was like very, like.
I think it's been like that for like 10 or 15 years now.
Wasn't
They take it
What's
out.
the opposite of intrusive? You know what I mean? It's not like they cut you fucking like east to west and
No, I didn't get a
stapled you back
C-section.
together. No.
I mean, even C-sections now, I think it's like it's just a little pinhole, you know?
Suck the baby. It's the
Suck
same
the
machine
baby.
they use to give you abortion. They just turn the killing part off.
Yeah, the blades turn off.
Please turn off, just sucks him right out the belly button. Yeah, I don't know what the opposite of intrusive is. I don't know, but it wasn't intrusive.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it was
I don't
very
know. It's
easy
like-
going. It was just
was
a little
fine.
it was a little incision, I think, below my belly button, which I can't even see anymore, and I never really could ever
You
see
never
below my belly
cleaned
button
it.
very well.
I mean, all the
anyway,
times you
but-
showed me, it was not cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It was
No, it was
bleeding.
clean. I was just bruised as
Yeah,
shit.
it's covered in dye still. The marker,
had
that
some
the
iodine
fucking
still
purple
on there.
marker that the doctor draws on.
No,
Circle
I
like cut here.
no, you guys are imagining.
Doctor, he's not here for liposuction. Oh, sorry, wrong guy.
She's
I
already
mean, actually,
sucked.
yes, he is. Yes, he is. No, I actually
the
know a friend that got
liposuction's also the
liposuction.
abortion machine.
It is.
It
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just turn the blades off.
The blades are off.
Yeah. They, I actually know a friend who got liposuction, and she was telling me that it fucking hurt, man.
Oh, I can
Like,
imagine.
I can
hurt.
imagine.
I don't know what it is or how they do it, but like just the fact that they're just full on sucking shit out of your body, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a.
did it take or did she
Oh
You know.
no, it didn't take. No.
like she just put the weight right back on?
Well, I just like she didn't lose much more. You know, like.
Well, I don't
Like,
think you're
it
gonna
wasn't a
lose-
lifestyle change. It wasn't really much of a lifestyle change.
No.
Disrespect. Like, she's trying.
Oh, yeah, full
Actually, I'd say
disrespect.
now more than ever. But, like, no, it wasn't like an immediate, like, you could tell something was up, but it wasn't like an immediate, like, oh my God. Like, you lost 150 pounds, you know? It was like, no, you lost
yeah.
what they sucked out, like 10 or 15 pounds, and then
Yeah,
you
you can
rode
only-
that for 5 years, you know?
You can only
Like,
lose
yeah,
what
no
they take
disrespect.
out, right? It's not like you're gonna lose more after that. Like if you
No,
just,
no.
you know. But imagine just them like vacuuming under your skin. Like that's
Oh,
all they're doing. Like,
that's
that
what
would
it is,
hurt-
right?
Yeah.
that would hurt
Yeah.
so much the
Oh,
next
my
day.
I can vaguely remember seeing like little snippets of it, maybe on like those TLC shows, but they got like this thing and they just jab underneath you. They're just like filling up this fucking rod, right?
Like it's
Yes.
not, you know, your
It's like
jumbo
the way
video.
they puncture tuna. It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
way they
not-
check a tuna, man.
It's not a scoop like scooping like popcorn. You're not scooping
Let's check
popcorn.
the color on this tuna. No,
It's
no.
red rubber. Red rubber.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
see the fatty core. I like it here.
Oh yeah, look at the color.
It's $18 a pound.
Yeah.
I love me some wicked tuna.
Oh man, it's so.
But I
good.
also used to love those fucking like those TLC shows where they would just do like surgeries and shit, and you could watch it. Like
so
you come home
gnarly.
from
Oh,
work
those
or-
are the old days. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
come home after
barely
school.
blurred anything. The only thing they blurred was a fucking dick or a titty or a
dick and a
vagina.
titty,
Sometimes.
That was
yes.
it. Everything else they showed.
Maybe even the odd armpit, just because they didn't know. They were
Yeah,
just-
you got really fucking. There's a
Can't
few
risk
times
that
like I
shit.
seen like a titty on there because it was just such a bad titty they didn't even notice.
Yeah, they didn't even notice in post.
that
Yeah.
old fucking pancake flapping out.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a
It's
titty.
thumb.
It's an armpit with a nipple. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember our grandma got her like hip replaced and she had the like doctor video. And I
Yeah,
feel
that
like we
was
watched
weird.
it one time and it was
Yeah,
just
we
like this
did.
is dark.
Oh my god.
I don't
She
think
let
that
us watch
Watch
it.
Yeah, I
a
don't-
loved one's operation video.
But
What?
I don't think they had the like decency to like blur out the bush or anything. Like it's just like
No,
grandma.
No.
I
It's a
remember
home
it-
video, dude. They're not gonna blur.
They're
They
not
don't got the
gonna go-
budget.
I
Yeah.
remember it though as like
Like the gray one? Like in?
it was like inside of her.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. I remember it being black and white for some reason also.
Okay, it was not fucking black.
I think it was on film
Seriously,
reel.
this explains so much about you guys. So
Fucking
much.
Showed us our ultrasound.
You know, sometimes I'm like, holy fuck, like these guys, like, there's something about these brothers, like they're, yeah, you guys are sweet and sincere and you have all the things, but sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're bitter and you're right to the point. Like, where does that come from? Oh, their family used to sit down weekly and watch fucking surgery videos.
I don't
You
think
know,
it was. I remember coming home
monthly,
from school.
whatever. You
She
know,
used to babysit us after school, so like we
Oh,
were
this
young,
was
and
it was like
just
90. Yeah.
yeah, like came home and it was like, guess what we're doing?
when you guys are
today? And
6
it's
years
like, wow,
old. Oh
like,
my god, like that. That's why you are how
We were
you are.
young.
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just remember
Yeah.
it being a straight up like, she's like, I'm finally gonna let you guys watch that video that you want to watch, and it was like, okay.
No one requested
What are you
this.
talking about, Grandma?
Yeah, like I didn't like it was like as if someone had been bugging her and knew.
Well, you guys
the
probably
video.
were. You're probably shithead kids. You're like, there's a new VHS in the house. You could smell it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Right? You're like, we
That's
want to
the
watch
VHS.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put it on. And fucking yeah, so it was just like, but I remember it being like inside of her hip, like it was just I don't know,
That is
maybe
fucking
not, like
unreal.
maybe they did just put her hip in.
Do they still do that? Can you request like a fucking video of your
yeah.
operation?
I think you
I don't know, maybe it
can.
was like a pilot project for TLC.
Maybe she was like the first one in Canada that got that specific surgery or something.
I
Maybe
don't
it's
remember
Like,
it,
she should
like,
be on her money or
Taking very well. Like it wasn't like she was ever more mobile.
something. No,
That's the
I
thing
just
with
think it was
surgery,
less
bud.
pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
relieves the
like
pain.
fake hip too that go in, like
Yeah.
prosthetic hip. Like it was, I don't know, it was in the 90s.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But it was also like yeah, she
surgery
just
in the
never bent
90s,
over
oh
again.
my
No, like
God.
she
No.
had like a fucking one of those like gator grip things, just grab
That's
shit
where
off the
your brother.
ground.
That's where your brother also get. That's where your brother also gets his, you know,
Yeah, my
not
Yeah, he-
bending over.
He doesn't
from-
bend over.
What'd you
Skyler's
call
got a
him?
reverse midget house. Yeah, everything's fucking above waist high.
Everything's up high. Yeah.
Everything's up high.
'Cause
Don't
you
fucking
can't
bend
bend.
over. Yeah, the only person that's like kitchen garbage is on the countertop.
Yeah, right at face level.
Nose level.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
when it's full better.
Instead of picking it up with his arms too, he just turns around, puts the straps on, and backpacks it outside. Yeah, I'm not carrying this. I'm not picking it up.
Yeah.
Strap up the can.
I got a bum leg. I don't even know if it's my knee or it's my back knee. I guess it's
You
both
do have
though.
back
So-
knee.
Where's your back knee?
You've
Something
had
else.
back knee since you were 12.
The back knee's fucking up your bending. Jesus Christ. You got a blood disease, dude.
Yeah. It looks like he has bed bugs when he gets up in the morning. There's fucking
Just all
speckled
back
sheets.
knee.
I didn't.
Oh,
I don't
dude.
mean like. Oh, I don't mean.
I
like
had
back.
gnarly back.
You got
when I was
back
younger.
knee. You
Gnarly.
said
I
it.
didn't mean like the pimple. I meant like the back of my knee.
Yeah, okay, sure you did.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah.
The back shit.
Adult back knee. I had childhood back knee like a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah,
Gnarly,
we
gnarly.
all did.
Yeah. But
But-
adult back knee's a totally different monster. No disrespect, but like, fucking handle your shit.
Fucking wash your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm
I
not
stopped
ashamed.
using soap. I stopped using soap when
Oh,
I was like in my
yeah,
early
never.
20s, and it
Yeah,
cured
yeah.
all of. Well, it didn't cure it. Like I still got fucking acne all over, but like it got significantly better.
Yeah.
Nice,
You know?
yeah.
Also, I think that's just like an
All
age
the-
thing.
It's
I
an
was
age thing, yeah.
I was thinking that the other day, like remembering when I was like a teenager, and like my skin was just so oily, like my shoulder, like I'd have to get like the cotton swabs and like fucking like clean her down,
Dry off midday,
dry them
yeah.
off in the morning, like have
Yeah.
a shower and then like okay, and then go to school. To now,
Yeah.
like being in my 30s, and it's like I have to moisturize. Like I
Yeah,
have
I'm
fucking
dry as
Yeah.
fuck.
my eye, like all around my eyes and forehead, so dry. And it's like, what a world. Back in the old
Yeah,
day.
I can't moisturize in the
Yeah.
van, but like when I was living indoors, I definitely moisturized.
Yeah, I'm a
know?
moisture guy now.
I have to
Yeah, I
moisturize
can't
the
do it
tops
now.
of my ears.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
ears
dude,
get-
literally every part of my body, like hoop to everything, like everything's got to be moisturized.
You got moisture.
Wow.
You got to. I
But,
don't
like-
like I said, I don't do it now because I'm living in the van, and that would just be ridiculous. Like kind
Would
of,
it?
a little too much production on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
There's like you have weight issues in the van. Like
True.
you
In
could
the van, I can't have a
possibly-
fucking vat of
Yeah.
Jergens to dump
Another
in, jump in every
300
day.
milliliters will fucking break this axle.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Speaking of the vans, they are so fucking fully loaded. I cannot wait for the springtime where I can do like a full-on
Yard sale?
purge organization,
Yeah.
clear some shit out. You just end up. Oh, well, not you. I just end up taking on so much shit on a yearly basis.
I mean, I was gonna ask this question. Like regularly in our chat, you go on about like, oh, I met this old fucking guy and I went to his house and like tickled
The
him
whole
a
van's
bit.
full.
And he-
The other van is completely full with cool free
Knickknacks
shit
and shit.
cheap shit.
Yeah, garbage,
Everything.
sure. Yeah, whatever
Yep.
word you want to say.
Well, yeah, potato, tomato. I don't call it garbage, but
Potato steak dinner, whatever.
yeah.
At what
Garbage, yeah.
point will you be the like older gentleman like corralling teenagers
Already
from
am.
the grocery store to like,
Already
hey,
am.
come back to my van and like have some fucking hood
Yeah,
ornaments.
I already am, like, in small doses, like, if I get to talking with somebody and, like, they make a point of saying that they're interested in this thing or they looking for this thing and I have it or I have one and I don't need it, I'm like, anytime that comes up, I'm like, oh, well, come to my place or come to my van. Yeah, no, it hasn't come up. It hasn't come up where I've had random strangers at the van because I'm kind of protective. But when I'm like comes to living indoors or having a house, yeah, no, it's every day maybe. I don't know, like
wow.
it's a lot. Like when like up north, it's super easy to bump into somebody at the grocery store, at the dump or whatever, and it's like you're out and about. Someone's got an hour to kill. You're gonna smoke a joint, and they just like, oh, I'm looking for like a 26-inch tire for my fucking bike. Like I pop my tire, and it's like, over here, buddy. Come on, come to the long grass. I got some stash in the long grass. So I mean, I think I've always been that way. Like as a kid, even like, because I was always into bikes and like we were always like neighborhood kids, like fixing each other's bikes and fucking.
Were
You know?
you like as
Dropped,
a child?
yeah.
Were you lured by somebody into a van?
No, I think that's why I don't think it's bad or negative. I was never told not to, and I was never sexually assaulted. If I had been told not to, or if I had got raped, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today.
I had this like weird flashback.
Nothing bad has ever happened from going to a stranger's van.
I had this like weird flashback, Skyler, the other day about a situation like that. I don't know if you were with me. You might have been. This is the day. Like, do you remember way back in the day before we had the wood fence, we had like the iron fence?
Yeah.
So I remember this
Like,
day clear as a
wrought
bell.
iron fence.
It was like I can't even describe it because I only remember the like process of taking it down to put up the wood fence.
Like, if it was like the top, how like in castles or like the
Yeah.
queen's house, it's like brick, and then the next foot of it's like that iron.
No, it was like they were
kinda
like,
like that?
maybe like
Just
8-foot
like
iron posts, but I couldn't tell you if it was a chain link fence or
Okay,
like
okay.
like
was heavy
slatting.
duty.
It might have even just been like aluminum panels. Like it was probably the white trash's garbage house, like just siding.
Yeah, just
Like-
tin. Just
yeah,
tin,
just like a tin
old
fence.
siding.
Yeah, it might have just been
Yeah, yeah.
siding. Like I can't say it wasn't. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But I remember having to take all those things out. And I remember because I was helping, it was like one of those like, oh, we're gonna help Dad get these fucking like, fence posts out. And just like holding it here, he's like, here, hold it while I do. And it's like, it's way too heavy. I was like 6 and the thing fell on me. So like I remember that, but I couldn't really picture what the fence looked like. I just remember him being like, here, hold this, and it like fucking bonked me in the head. But I also,
great
anyway,
story.
this story was
You also got raped that day? Like
no, I was
like,
at
oh, this?
we were at McDonald's at like a birthday party. I think Skyler must have been there because we kind of did everything together. We were at like someone's
Yeah.
birthday party, McDonald's Playland, and
Hold
some
on, sorry
guy
for laughing
was
at your trauma.
yeah, well, this guy was like, "Hey, I'm a friend of your dad's. I'm here to pick you up." And we're like, "Okay."
Oh no.
And we just got in the car, and like I remember directing him home. Like I knew how to get home.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
being like turning the corner and be like, "Yep, see that's our house, the one that doesn't have. We just took the fence down." And like getting out, and
Yeah.
like nothing happened. It was fine.
Yeah, totally.
And it was-
Actually, I've been in that situation as a kid too.
And that's just
And
the
it was
'80s.
like-
That was the '80s. Like that was
Yeah.
like
Was
a
it
total
our dad's
stranger.
Early 90s.
This full stranger
Yeah.
just like, "Yeah, I'm a friend of your dad's. I'm here to pick you up." He sent me. It's like,
It could
okay.
have just as easily have been someone with bad intentions, but it just never
Sure.
happened to be.
It
You
didn't.
know?
Was
Yeah.
it? But
You
was
know?
it like a known friend of his? Like, do you think we
I-
recognized him?
Don't know. I don't remember because I remember having
Yeah.
to direct how to get home, and it's like that's weird. Like if it was
Like
like,
you're
his
sitting in
friend
the
that
front
didn't
seat,
know,
no seatbelt
yeah,
on, standing up on the front
standing in the
seat,
front
yeah.
seat eating my like McNuggets
Yeah.
and shit. Like, yep, turn
Yeah.
left here, go past the
It's
bowling
so
alley.
crazy. And like they were probably just all drinking at the house, and like which one of you is not drunk or least drunk? Go
Right.
pick up my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I mean, I remembered
Yeah. For
pointing
sure.
the way home, but that might have just been a way to like keep the kid like feeling like he's in charge. Like, hey, tell me how to get
Yeah,
there. But it's
yeah.
like he's like you're saying, Mike. Like he was in the backyard drinking
Yeah.
all day. He knows damn well
Yeah,
where the
totally.
house is. It was just a
Yeah.
way to like make the kid
He was
feel.
he just had water about 40 minutes.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good to
Did
drive.
he
Yeah.
get
He
out
got
of
to the
car with
party
us, or
last.
Did he, like just because it feels like we just like almost got raped is what it feels like.
I
to
mean,
me.
we got
Yeah,
home.
totally. Maybe you did because neither of you remember it. Like you
Yeah,
suppressed
yeah.
it.
There might have been some like lost time.
Yeah, you blink and you wake up and you're in your bed. Yeah.
Fucking Men in Black.
Men in Black, yeah. I think that's a website, meninblack.com.
I hope
Yeah,
not.
dude, that was the 90s. That was the fucking 90s.
I think this
That
was
was the
80s.
90s, man.
That was 80s. That was before.
Yeah, probably
It was
was,
long.
yeah,
It was
late
so
80s.
long. We were so little. That was one of my earliest memories of just like some stranger driving me home from McDonald's.
Dude.
Wow, no, I don't.
I remember
that
I
at all.
remember being like 6 or 7 years old when I realized you could get in trouble for things, like actually get in trouble.
Hmm.
So my like whole day's plan was to like go and break into these mailboxes. You know, like there was like it was like the first time I ever seen that big bank of mailboxes. Cuz in my mind, I'm a kid. I'm like everything cool or everything when things come in the mail, it's cool.
Right.
You know, that was like
Yeah.
Columbia House Records, coupons, all these things to do, stickers, and all this cool shit would come in the mail, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
7, 8 years old, whatever. So the first time I ever seen these giant mailboxes, I don't have any sense of right or wrong, you know? And I'm like, I'm just going to crack this open. And I was already one of those kids, right? Like I was building the go-kart in my garage that never got finished, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it was made out of wood, like everything was wood and it was somehow supposed to roll down the road. But I went over these mailboxes with like a fucking screwdriver and a hammer, and I was like, I'm going to town, I'm getting into these things.
Getting in 'em.
And like the neighbor, just random neighbor, and this is like, I don't know, fucking a 30-minute walk from my home.
Yeah.
Like I'm like way the hell away from home, right? And the neighbor this guy in town walked me to my home with my bike. I'm like walking my bike. Well, this guy walked me home so that he could tell on me to my parents. Like I didn't realize what was going on. And like he didn't rape me, but like he could have, you know? Like
Yeah.
we're walking for 30 minutes to town, a stranger. I don't know where he lives. I don't even know that I'm not supposed to be breaking into these mailboxes. And I'm pretty sure I ended up going back and the cops brought me home.
Wow.
My mom's got a story. I don't know the story, but it's like my mom's got a story of like the first time you get brought home by the cops, you know?
Yeah.
Little piece of shit.
I feel like I have a story too where I almost like could have been raped, I guess you could say, and it was
Possibly.
like,
I mean, you can't rule out
I
lost
hate to
time.
make light of this, but I could have been raped so many times. One time I got hit on my bike by my school bus driver. He could have raped me. You know, like
I remember like one time like there was like I was with my grandma, and she had, it was like a different grandma, not the one with the bad hips, like
the good one.
about. And there was like a block block party on her street. And we, you know, it was like all the neighbors came out, and there was like I remember there was Jello and stuff.
Oh yeah, Jello's involved.
And either way, like I was she was talking to somebody, and some dude who was like holding a baby, like a newborn child, and he had these fucking like weird little ice cream cones that weren't ice cream.
Oh, those are so good. They were like gummy.
Yeah.
They were gummy
kind
and
of,
crunchy.
Yeah,
Or not
but
gummy.
yeah.
It was like marshmallowy.
It was marshmallow.
Exactly that.
It was like those little strawberry.
They looked
things.
way better than they tasted.
Both
Oh
of
yeah,
those
the
things,
cone
for
was
sure.
always stale.
And so he gave it to me, like, do you want one? And I was like, absolutely yes. And he
Fuck
gave it
yeah.
to me, and then he turned around and he walked away. And then like my grandma came back, and she was like, where did you get that ice cream cone? And I was just like, some dude just gave it to me. And she like smacked it out of my hand.
Wait, this is your good grandma?
Yeah, smacked it out of my hand, and then made me like point him out, and we like went back to the guy, and and she was like, why did you give that to him? And it was just like, oh, I have more, like, does he want another one? And
He was just being super friendly.
yeah, because it was like the block party, and he was super nice, but like I was so vulnerable at
Well,
the time.
she comes
like,
from a different generation. Yeah, and vulnerable, and you're a kid.
you know, and like it was so unassuming. Like he was holding a child, and then like gave me. Like he
Exactly.
could have been like, "Yo, come check out what's in my freezer."
Dude,
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
At any moment of the day, I could have been abducted off the street.
Yeah.
Every day, 1,000 times a day, you could have got me, you know, for the first 15 years of my life. Like, it was until I started getting real fighty and bitey, you know?
But even then, I think you're more of a target. People are.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, because you're actually like a sexual,
You won't
know,
be missed.
animal, dynamo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's gonna miss that
At
kid.
No one's
No.
gonna miss that kid. No.
It's
You don't
just-
want to take
I
the
mean,
darling. You gotta get the brat.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. No.
It's
See,
just
that's when
crazy
you
it
get
didn't
sex
happen
ring.
more.
Is that?
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not just like you're gonna get like thrown in the bushes and taken for a go. They're taking you in a car, and you're gonna fucking. This is your life now.
You know, I feel very, very thankful now that we're talking about this that nothing tragic like that has ever happened to me or anyone like I know and loved. Like, I've never even heard of a child getting abducted, someone I knew personally.
No.
So, like,
No.
very, very fortunate. And we're like an hour from Toronto, you know, like, plus a
Well, I
huge
mean, I guess,
population
yeah.
of people. Like, it's
Yeah, I don't
just,
know.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It never happened, man.
Never
Thankfully.
happened. Yeah, especially in the '90s
Yeah.
and like the early '90s, late '80s.
No
when,
cameras
like,
on nothing.
Internet,
no
no
one.
cameras.
No.
So
you still had to do
naive.
this with the phones, where it took
Yeah.
fucking literally a whole minute to call 911,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like,
9,
it was
1.
fuck.
Two.
I remember-
Fuck.
Hang up.
Fuck. Like you used to have a phone like that in your basement, and it was like I'd
Yeah,
call
oh,
home
yeah.
for rides, and it would always be that. Like,
Yeah, we were always
ugh.
super stoned at fucking 2 a.m. or whatever. Yeah.
just like can't fucking do this phone
No.
at all.
That was the phone, that same phone that got thrown at my head. That one story we talked about.
Oh yeah, big
podcasts
big
ago.
titty Donna.
Big
Yeah, big tit Dana, and yeah.
I was gonna say I remember like just like our parents are great, but they're very naive, and I remember
Yeah.
being in the '80s
They
and
were
having
young,
a
right?
T-shirt with my name on it, and like being somewhere, and like one of my mom's friends is like, you know, like he really shouldn't have a shirt with his name on it, because like
Yeah, people are
child
gonna-
abductors are just gonna yell Robert
laugh.
John, and he's gonna come running over.
Robert John, and he's gonna think he knows him. And it's your Uncle Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just talked to your dad. He's supposed to pick. He told me to pick you up from McDonald's.
You want this
Dude, it's so
marshmallow
crazy.
ice cream?
Yeah.
Dude, when I broke my finger, I was probably like I want to say like grade 5. I think I was grade 5 going into grade 6 because I got caught smoking that summer, and my parents are like, "You're going to Holy Cross. We're gonna send you to a Catholic school."
Catholic.
So they fucking sent me to Holy Cross, which was kind of cool because it was literally 40 feet from my nan's house, and I never ever stayed there for lunch. You know, like. It's like I can literally go outside and see my nan's house. I'm not gonna stay at this fucking shithole for an hour, you know. Eating bologna when I could get a hot soup and a sandwich, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You know, trade my lunch for hockey cards and go to my nan's. Like, I'm fucking out of here. But anyways, I fucking broke my finger at some point in that transition, grade 5, grade 6. And, like, I mean, you're old enough to know better, but you're not. Like, I've been taught a few of these lessons already. It's getting smacked with candy in my hand, all that stuff, right? Like, I kind of knew right and wrong. But, like, I think I was right at the cusp of, like, you know, stranger danger, because I broke my finger. It is literally back here. Like, if you guys can see, my hand's like this. Yeah. My finger's like, beep, like that.
Right.
Beep, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is fucking just torched. And, like, I had never broke anything that bad that I can recall up to that point. And I walked from, no one was home at my house. My door was locked for some reason. Parents are gone. I have no idea where they are. Don't know what time of day it is. I don't even know what day of the week. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea what's going on. No one's home at my house. I can't get in my house. I'm like pacing around there. I go to the backyard. The fucking backyard door's locked. No neighbors are home. Like, it was, I guess, middle of the day during the week maybe. And we were playing football. Broke my finger. And so I was like, well, the only other person I know for sure is home right now is Nan. So I walked from fucking, you know where the fire station is, right? The old fire station by the train tracks? Yeah. Which isn't terribly far, but it's a half-hour walk, you know? And I'm walking, crying the whole time, just bawling my eyes out with my broken finger. And there's all these people, like, randomly trying to help me, and I'm like, no. Like, the time I needed help the most, you know? And I was like, no. Didn't let anyone rape me that day.
Not today.
There'll be no
And
raping.
I walked to my nan's house, and my nan had let someone borrow her car, so I couldn't get a drive to the hospital. So I had to, like, sit in my nan's house for, I don't know, 8 hours maybe with this broken finger. She's trying to get me to, like, go chop wood and make some kindling and round up this and cut the grass and all that shit. I had this broken fucking hand. I go to the hospital. Should have been there 8 hours before because my hand was demolished. Yeah. They fucking couldn't set it. They gave me in a cast. They couldn't set it. I had to go back a couple weeks later. They had to re-break it and put the pin in my hand. Like, it was so gnarly. Like, if my parents had just been home, I probably would still not have a ginked up finger, right?
Yeah.
But I ended up, like, not letting anyone... Because if someone... I could have just got that guy probably just... Or girl or whoever, woman... could have just drove me to the hospital at that point, right? Or if they drove me to my nan's, would have realized my nan's car's not there and drove us both to the hospital. And it was like, it's just a fucking crazy stroke of events. I could have got raped at fucking any moment that day.
I mean, you know? My takeaway from that story is you were so desperate you would have let a woman drive you to the hospital.
I would have. But I didn't. Like, there was plenty of women asked.
No,
I mean, it almost sounds like...
In hindsight.
You might have, like... welcomed some sexual advances in exchange for a ride to the hospital.
You know what? At that point, in hindsight, looking back, yes, I should have just sucked a dick and got a ride to the hospital, you know?
It's almost like, when, like, your parents, it's like that moment you realize that, like, Santa Claus isn't real. Like, you've been told your whole life that, like, hey, there's people out there that want to take you and rape you. And then that moment that, like... I don't
remember ever hearing those words from my parents.
No, which is kind of the problem here, I think, is what
they want to take you and rape you.
We definitely, like, I remember, like, my mom giving me the talk one day when I was, like, 4. Of just,
I mean, this is after you fucking making friends with Ice Cream Cone guy at the fucking random
block party. Ride home.
Making best friends with Brian. Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's, like... here you are, you're all vulnerable, and you're just like, fuck, like I would suck a dick for a ride to the hospital, and nobody's here.
Suck a dick for a mini ice cream cone, that's for sure.
I mean, if it was a real ice cream cone, like, you know.
But it looks like it.
Bell
When you're a
bags are
kid, you
off.
see that
Put
little
them
ice
both
cream
in my
cone.
mouth.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just
You-
like, this is ingenious, like it's
Oh
like a
my
little
God.
child-size ice cream
Yeah, it's
cone.
perfect size.
Well, it's kind of like when you see, it's not the same, but it's kind of like when you see the mini cupcakes or mini muffins.
Yeah.
It's the opposite, actually. Those are way better than full-size muffins.
But you know what it is also like when you see those dog treats that are like bacon, and you're like, that looks so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Like
is like
dog
that. And
bacon?
actually, I've eaten those. They aren't that bad.
I mean, I've tried it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
yeah, I'm not gonna eat a sleeve of them. But like, you know, I'll take a pull off a fucking Baconator or whatever they're called. You know.
Toss them on top.
Oh yeah, I don't buy Chooch those treats because he just fucking reeks up the van. Like I can't,
Just gets the
I can't
shits.
have that going
And
on.
because they're
He
fucking
eats
bigger
them,
than
I'm
he
eating
is.
them. We're both shitting our pants. You know, like can't
Both are in
have
a
that,
bad.
man.
Both are in a bad mood. We're just fighting over the bacon.
Yeah. No, real bacon or nothing. That's my.
I just
That's my
picture
move.
you on all fours in the van, fighting over fucking treats with your dog.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting
Nude,
fired.
of
He's getting
course.
fucking right fired up now. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Just the. Yeah. Calm down. Okay. Okay. But yeah, man, like the fucking '90s was a trip.
Fuck
Thinking
yeah.
back, like I wasn't lying about like when I just breezed over that story. I got hit by my bus driver
Yeah.
outside of Laidlaw, like you know where all the on the main street there, kind of by the firehouse and
Where the
by
dumbass
graveyard
kids play like chicken and shit, just running back and forth.
Yep.
Yep, that's
So
fun.
I'm riding my bike to Subway, and I'm busting down that sidewalk, mock chicken, you know.
Yeah.
And my bus driver pulls out in her normal car, and just fucking like she had just dropped the bus off. She pulls out, just throws me into the highway, right?
Oh wow.
And like picks me up, and it's a whole thing, and they can't
Oh.
get hold of my parents, of course, because who knows where the fuck they are. And she like drives me home, and like I mean, yeah, it was my bus driver, but what if it was like Bill from
What
the
about
other
the
bus
Subway?
driver who like
What if
raped
it was
kids?
your bus driver? You still had multiple chances.
She
Yeah.
didn't have the decency to take you to Subway and get a sandwich before bringing you home?
No, but Mama definitely did. You know how Mama roll. You know.
I remember one time we were riding our bikes to Discers in Georgetown.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
like a group of us, like maybe like 5 or 6, and one of our friends got hit by a car. A
Yeah.
lady like pulled out of the parking lot and backed into him.
Demoed him. Yeah.
And like there was a
Was
moment
I there?
No, you weren't
No.
there. But like
Just
that was
younger?
also another one of these
Younger, probably.
moments where it's just like, man, like she could have fucked us all, and we wouldn't.
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. That's one of those friends,
Good.
though, like, rest in peace, that guy is dead now. But also,
Oh, no, not from the car. Actually.
Is he?
yeah, he's dead now.
Oh my god.
But
Oh,
also,
man.
when you're like,
You think you
maybe
know
we're in
somebody.
grade 4 or some shit, and like going to Discers, and this guy's from like grade 7 hanging out with us, like he's like the leader.
Yeah.
And at the
Yes.
time, you're like, it's cool, we're going to Discers with the older kid. But it's like, what
Yeah.
fucking older kid has like a posse of like way younger kids? So weird to look
Dude,
back
He
on.
was
I
trying
was-
to fuck us.
I
yeah.
was the younger kid in that posse always.
All the time,
All the way
yeah.
up until like fuck, even through high school, I was hanging out with like Crusher and whoever the fuck else right, was doing drugs. Yeah,
Crusher.
Crusher. Yeah,
That's a real person.
I
That's
like
not
that
me.
guy a lot.
that is a
I
real
like
person.
that guy, dude.
He was
He
fucking
was a
great.
good
He was
dude.
a fantastic dude.
Whatever
he was a
happened to
really
Crusher?
good dude. Like
Such a
he's
good
a
dude.
jock. He was like football, fucking hard as fuck. Like just a beefy dude, but just like so chill,
So chill.
and so rad, so friendly. Oh yeah.
I heard about him a few times.
He was
like,
he was like Choda. He was like Choda, but cool. You know?
He was just a
Like,
cool
Crusher was
fucking dude.
cool, but if you crossed the line,
He
crush
beat
you.
Oh,
the
yeah, he'd
shit
fuck
out of
you
him.
up.
Yeah, he's a
Fuck
regular
you
in the
up.
lunchtime octagon.
Dude, I fucking seen him kick the shit out of this like 60-year-old dude in his apartment. It was some guy that was trying to bang his mom, and he fucked him up. And like to the point where it's like he's gonna throw him off the balcony. He's
Yeah.
fucking stomping this guy in his house, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting there like I gotta get the hell out of here, man. Like, and that was like one of 15 times I seen him beat someone up at Silver Creek Towers. Like he was just fucking gnarly. I was so happy to roll with Crusher all the time, every day for 2 fucking years of high school. You know what I mean? So happy to roll with that guy. Yeah, he was hard as fuck.
And what a cool nickname when it's not like an ironic. Like if you're a little like pencil neck dweeb and like they call you Crusher and everyone laughs. Like that sucks.
Yeah, or if you're a fucking poser like I was and they called me Crusher, you know what I mean? Like if they're calling me Crusher, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, right? But like he was a caveman. His hands were so big. Great guy.
Yeah, he was gnarly dude.
Yeah, you're just like.
But he was only 5'10".
No, yeah, he's built like a.
But he was also 5'10" wide.
Yeah,
you know,
he was like a little Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just short.
Little honey badger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
Do you ever think they called him Crusher? Because like one day, he's just spelled Orange Crush all over his BR uniform.
Yeah, it totally had nothing to do with it. yeah, he got grape crush stains on his fucking shirt.
His teeth are fucking Orange Crush stained.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
That's hilarious. I mean, who knows? Right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's just so innocent, but then it's like, no, it's because he crushes people, crushes skulls.
Crushes Tang.
Yeah, he crushed everything, dude. I mean, bittersweet for sure. Like, I'm so happy to have those years of, like, fucking shit up in my youth. But, like, I slept outside a whole month every summer if you split up the days, you know what I mean? Just, like, doing drugs at the ruins and fucking at Groundhog and wherever else. And, like, sleeping in the ditch. It's like, I'm so thankful to have those times of just, like, learning my lesson the hard way, you know?
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, maybe I should have scaled it back a little bit, you know, in hindsight. Like, it was just too much too young.
Yeah.
You know? I wish I could
Or
do
not.
drugs now and not feel guilty about it, you know?
There's still time. There's still time. I think over 75, you can start doing drugs again.
You know, like
I think if you make it, sure, why not, dude?
this might be like the, you know, the hot take, but I think I'm really close to like starting to do some like drugs. Like just
Drugs are fucking
I think
fun,
it's
man.
I think
You gotta
it's
grip on 'em.
happening in the next like few weeks as far as like
Just honestly, RJ, don't snort anything. It's just
No,
not
no,
worth
no.
it.
I
The
don't want
the
to do
fentanyl and all that
No,
crap.
no, no. This isn't about like escaping problems or any shit. It's about like I've never done mushrooms. Like that's happening in
Yeah, no,
February.
mushrooms
like
are
that's
fine, dude.
happening.
Mushrooms
Yeah.
are awesome.
I want to get in
Just
an
do a little
acid.
bit.
I've been hanging out with someone
Acid,
that's like big on
totally.
doing acid. And it's like let's do fucking acid.
acid.
Yeah.
If you can get
You know,
DMT or
Start
whatever the
slow,
mushroom
baby
is,
dose,
do
but it's
it.
like this is happening. It's fucking lockdown. Born as shit.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dude,
What if you
that
want
shit's
fly a
all fine. I
plane
don't think of
with
those as
life?
drugs. I really don't.
Yeah, start low, but it's like it's no time than never.
Yeah. It's more like with with psychedelics, it doesn't feel like doing drugs. Like there really is two different sides of the coin, of the same shitty coin, you know? Like, I mean, or two different sides of a bill, right? Like it's same thing, but not. Like, you different imagery, it's different everything. Like you could do mushrooms, acid, DMT, whatever, once or twice or 3 times a year, or even if you did it every month, and you wouldn't feel like you were overdoing it. Where it's like any of these other speedy drugs or downer drugs, it's more of like you get addicted to like needing it.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
even so much that you like it, you just need it all of a sudden, you know? That's kind of like, I mean, that's so cliche and whatever, everyone fucking knows this, like everyone's seen a goddamn documentary in their life, but it's like,
What
you
are
know,
those?
it's, what are those? It's not worth it. Like, if I ever do ecstasy again, I'm not going to ever snort it again, I'll tell you that. Or MDMA, never. I'm just going to drop it. I'm taking it and drop it and eat it like a pill, right? It's like, snorting shit's just too fucking dangerous. It's never worth it. You feel like shit. You honestly feel like your face is going to... And you do it every day for so long, it feels like your face is just going to cave in, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
It's just so gnarly. Like, the length you'll go to just to, like, numb your pain or to feel anything. Like, sometimes it's just, like, about feeling anything, right? Like there's so many
I'm not
sides
coming.
of the coin.
Yeah, I'm not coming at it.
No,
in that
so you're not coming
side.
from that.
I'm not running away.
Well,
I don't
and, like,
need to
the
get
drugs-
wasted to like whatever. It's like I
think you just.
But
just
these
make sure you do
drugs,
it
like the
safe
mushrooms and shit, aren't like the kind of drugs you do habitually, unless it's again like
Right.
ritualistic kind of, or like ceremonial in a way, right? Like
Yeah,
there's a thing to it. You'll know you do it once, and you're gonna be like, oh, I get it. Oh, I want to do this every weekend.
There's
you
a
know.
blood orgy attached.
But you
to
won't.
It at the end.
I mean, yeah. You can't say no to that in advance. That just happens game day.
Dude,
Yeah.
I could tell you and I without it's gonna sound braggadocious or whatever,
Bring
and
it.
maybe it is. I don't fucking care. Some of my favorite moments in my life were on mushrooms. Honestly, like I have never had such good times as those 20 times I could tell you about, and one of them turned into like a 40-person snowball fight, and we were all on mushrooms, and it was unfucking real. It was like a 2-hour snowball fight. Everyone got fucked up. We like pinned people down and whipped it at their face. Like, it was gnarly, dude. It was like 30 dudes and 10 chicks, and everyone got fucked up. Like the chicks, like no holds barred. Everyone got fucked up, and like I would say 30 of the 40 of us were on mushrooms and just having like a fucking, like, it was war times, dude. It was war. We were planning attacks. We were building fucking tourniquets. Like, you know.
I remember, yeah, like I can't even like say like I was on drugs for those things, but even like being like younger, maybe like tween, like early teenager-y things, when you start like hanging out with girls and it gets like flirty and shit, and they want to do that kind of stuff, but they don't realize what they're up against. Like, guys do that shit all the fucking time, and we're really good at it. So like a playful snowball fight turns into like the chick being on the ground and being snowed by like 3 dudes.
Oh yeah.
Like get her fucking jacket open and fucking fill her coat with snow.
Like,
and she's
ruined their fucking day.
Ruined her day. And it's like, this is how we play. Like, this is what guys do. Since I was a toddler, it's about getting them down and snowing them.
And now this jacket is going to stink all winter because it got wet and it never dried out properly, right? Like,
yeah, I'm going to fill your
like
fucking mitts with snow.
That would be like a skit of like a snowball fight. Like, it just starts innocent, like, but then it's like, you know, the rigors of war take over.
It's the like level.
Always happens. It always
It's the
happens.
winter version of like a curb stomp. Is the like full snowing, just like 3 or 4 dudes just
I
snowing.
Feel like it really does set the men apart from the boys, because like someone can talk shit and talk tough, but if you throw with your left hand or like a girl, you're going down, bud. This is where I shine. I'm gonna bean you. I'm gonna bean you 2 for 1. Every one you throw, I'm gonna hit you twice. You know, it's like.
And the original snowball fight, like you were saying, Mike, like that's just like a distance game. You want to like throw them fast enough that you can throw 2 before they throw 1, close distance, take them down, and then just like pile snow all on their face while sitting on their chest.
Dump them. Dump them. Yeah, dig a hole with them. Pick them up by their fucking overall snow pants.
Get the boot off. One boot off.
Yeah, someone hold their arms, you know?
Yeah.
It is war, motherfucker. You're just like waterboarding them with snow.
Right, yeah. That's what
you do,
snowball fights always end in. But then, there's that age when you start overlapping with, like, the girls, and they don't know the rules. Like,
no, they don't.
They think it's trench warfare, but we're doing Vietnam shit. Like, this is guerrilla tactics.
Yeah,
we're shooting you from the helicopter.
Oh my god, you didn't even know that guy was playing?
They say all's fair in peace and war. Well, it's also fucking snowball fights.
There's like only 2 places where rules don't apply: Vietnam and snowball fights.
Yeah, it's true. I've been really into watching like Vietnam like tunnel rat documentaries lately. Like, that's so fucking scary.
What have you been watching?
Like the tunnel rat documentaries about Vietnam. Like, they had like all those tunnels throughout the island, and then there's
crazy,
like
dude.
these like handful of volunteers' job to just like go through them and disarm traps, and they're full of snakes and fucking barbed wire, and it's like, that's
so
fucked.
Fucking gnarly.
Pitch
but like
black.
That's what those people felt like they had to do to survive in their own country. Like, that's
it's cool as shit. Cool as shit to have like a cool underground fort, and they had like a little movie theater in there, and they had like kitchens. It's like, that's fucking rad. But also like the one fucking Australian dude that's going like on his hands and knees through it with like a bayonet, looking like, oh my god, that guy's the bravest fucker of all time.
I know,
his
right?
Bayonet
And just like stabbing
you
whatever.
Got any little cuts on your hands or
You're
anything?
done.
It's like you're getting infected immediately.
Yeah, and they like purposely fill it with like snakes and like shit all over like nails and things. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Dude, it's so gnarly. So
Is it? Yeah,
gnarly.
didn't they would put like shit on like spikes, so when it got India, it was like, you'd get shit in your wound.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's frogs and spiders that'll fucking get you fucked up too if you rub it on a spike.
And all the like, the tunnel dwellers, like the Morlocks, they know like, oh, you don't go down that alley. Like, it's full of like venomous frogs and like nails with shit in them. Like, we don't go that way. But when you're like, you don't know that, and you're trying to clear the tunnel, it's like you're going on your hands and knees over everything. Like, oh my god.
Can you imagine your last breaths are in the dark with your guts ripped open from crawling across a shitty nail, and you're like, God damn it, and you can't even see nothing, but you're thinking to yourself, this is how it ends?
Yeah.
Like, how
Shit
fucking
nail?
tragic.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man. But that shit nail would just get you later in life. Like, you know
I think it'd get you.
Even if you
crawling-
did
You would know
survive,
though.
yeah.
You would
You'd be
know that's a
crawling on
shit
your
nail.
hands and knees and just like, oh, I scratched my arm. Ugh.
You'd smell the
You know?
shit. You'd
Listen,
smell it.
I know this isn't anywhere near the same, but I've cut my knee on a shit post. You know what I mean? It was someone had cut down a fence post, and it was in like this yard that we used to play in. And like we were so young that we didn't realize that there was no fence there at a certain point, and they just sheared it off at the ground, like all hack job. And we're playing with our little Macho
Dicks.
Man and Hulk Hogan pillows. Right?
Yeah,
Those little pillows, and we're on our hands and knees, and we're throwing punches with them, and we're fighting, like me and my buddy Ryan, and I go to throw a punch, and I drag my knee across this fence post, and it just fucking rips up my kneecap
Gutted.
off, essentially.
Ugh.
Didn't go get stitches, because who knows where my parents were at that point, you know, we just don't know in these days, right?
Yeah.
They probably weren't even home. I don't know whose yard that was. I don't know if I ever went back. But either way, kneecaps ripped open, and then it just didn't heal for like 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
every
yeah.
time I took a knee, it was bleeding for
Yeah.
like my whole life to a
Yeah.
certain point.
I remember one time.
So that's
when
my
we were-
shit nail story.
When we were kids, or I don't know if you remember this, but like our cousin had like he stepped on like something. It was like a piece of wood. Like just like he had a sliver and it had like some paint on it. It was like
Yeah.
a blue sliver.
Treated,
I'll never
treated
forget.
wood, treated lumber
Right, yeah.
will get
Maybe.
you like that, yeah.
And he stepped on it, and then he had like this fucking giant red line.
Oh right.
from the
Up to his
wound.
heart.
It was going
Right
there.
to his heart.
It was. I do remember that now. Yeah, yeah.
It didn't go to his heart because
It was
they
like
had taken
ended
it out.
mid shin,
Because
maybe.
they cut his
Mid-shin.
leg off first.
Yeah, they
Like,
had
It
to.
went up his shin, like it was fucked, and it was just that like he stepped on it and didn't know where.
Wait,
like,
did they
you
actually
know,
take his leg?
No, no,
No,
but
they
it
just had to
was,
like open the vein and let it bleed out.
yeah,
Oof,
and, like
yeah.
antibiotics.
Blood
They make
infection.
sure it's not fucking 1860.
Yeah, it's Civil
Yeah,
War.
just lop it off.
He died.
Take it off below the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy got a
need
sliver.
it.
Fucking died 6 months later. Yeah.
It's like you don't need to build an arc reactor and put it in your chest to keep the metal from going to your heart. We can just take it, just give you some antibiotics. You're totally fine. But yeah, no, it was fucked. And like I'll never forget. I feel like too that was like too young to be introduced to like
Oh yeah, blood diseases.
death.
Reality.
Disease.
Yeah.
Like fuck. What? I don't even know
Yeah.
what blood is, and I can get a disease in it. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, totally. Dude, I didn't realize what blood really was until we started this podcast. You remember that?
I don't know. No.
No.
Well, I'm not going to bring it up again.
Bring
It's
it up.
embarrassing as shit.
Bring it
Shame, shame.
I can't really remember, but it was something to do with like how your blood regenerates, and I wasn't really understanding that you could just like make more blood.
Oh.
That's why I refused to donate blood, and you guys kind of had to talk me through it to the point where it's like, no, it's not as big of a deal as you think. None of that makes sense. You should have went to fucking class, you know?
Yeah, you definitely should have finished grade 9.
Yeah, but also like, look how far I've gotten in life. I'm not dead. I'm still breathing. I got money in the bank. I didn't need to go to fucking science or biology or any of that shit. Fuck that.
Got all my own blood in me.
All my own blood.
I got plenty of blood. I didn't need to go to class. You
Got
know?
original blood in me.
Fuck it, man. I know the shit I need to know. You know? Got time for fucking blood science. What am I gonna be, a blood doctor? What the fuck? Go to blood school? Nah.
But yeah, fuck that. I feel like in all these scenarios we could have easily been
And raped.
assaulted. Yeah.
Rape.
All the while there's a fucking pedophile just around the corner. waiting to fight. Like,
Honestly, I hate that we're making so light of it because we're doing it publicly. If
Yeah.
this was behind closed doors, we'd be doing it way worser. But here we are.
kind of
I hate that we're
pumpkin
making
breaks.
fun of it so publicly, but it is fucking true. We are hashtag blessed that none of us got fucking raped in the first 15 years of our lives. You know?
Honestly, it really seems like majority of our peers were fucked in some way, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, wow, I didn't know that. And
Well, yeah, you don't know about it until you're like drunk and adults, and start talking about it, that's
Like,
way more common than
Yeah.
you would ever
like, even-
imagine. I
like,
got lucky, you know.
I don't
Like,
know if I've brought this up before, but in like it's complete like hearsay, and I'm kind of totally jumping.
Oh,
to
you should
conclusions
definitely
and
not
making
share
shit
that,
up.
but go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm totally sharing it.
Yeah.
my God.
When we were kids, we
Oh, no.
we all were part of the Catholic school system, and
Yeah,
we used
yeah.
to there used to always be a priest that would come to our school, and this
Uncle Touchy
motherfucker,
or whatever. Yeah.
his name was like Father Freitas.
Yep,
He
yep, remember that
always
guy.
always fucking rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, he
I
did.
I never.
He just had bad hair and bad skin and bad
and it was
breath
his
and
teeth.
like
He had some fucking janky jack-o'-lantern teeth.
Mm.
that
Yeah,
were,
he was
like,
a gnarly
black and
dude.
green, and like he'd always
Yeah.
smile with them real good, and it's
he
like
was like aggressively Christian or Catholic.
yeah. And but either way,
Yeah.
I never liked him. I always thought that
No.
he was kind of whatever, right? And then like 2 years ago, I think now maybe a year or so
Yeah.
ago, I saw like his
Yep.
name come up in the news
In a
where he
pedophile
got,
thing,
like,
yeah.
he got like kicked out of his fucking parish, and they didn't say why, but they like
You fucking know why.
But they apologized to all the families that he had affected, and
Right.
it was just like motherfucker, like I was that close to. Like,
Yeah,
how did
yeah,
I
yeah.
make it out of my
Dude,
adolescence
we
without
u-
getting fucked?
Yeah, we used to have to go to church. It was
Yeah.
like if you don't go, you can't be in this school, and it's like, well, I don't want to be in this school, you know.
I told that motherfucker like some of the darkest shit of my life.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
well, you had to confess your sins.
I
and
didn't
was
tell
like,
them
I mean,
shit.
nothing had happened
Fucking
up
snitches
No,
get
I mean,
stitches.
it was always like I don't cut the law, but I meant to buy my mom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I stole $5. I fucking slapped my sister, or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah. I put dog shit in a bag and threw it at my sister. You know, like that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Pee.
Nothing really happened.
I'm just
to that
saying though,
point,
like
yeah.
you get alone with that guy, you fucking
It's
know
fucking
that there
crazy,
were kids in our class that were vulnerable, and he
Well, probably the
preyed
people who
on
did
them.
like the altar, who hung out at the church.
Oh,
People's
yeah.
families were
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
part of the church.
That's true, very true.
Like my
yeah.
parents only went because their parents told them to go, so I had to go as a
Yeah.
result of that.
I
Essentially,
think
it was like
we're
this
all in the same
deep
boat
guilt.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were never
Like-
like devout. It was just like grandma
No.
will get mad if we don't go.
I
I
remember,
don't
like,
think
our
God ever got brought up into my house unless it was in a swear. You know,
That's
like
true, yeah.
I remember, like, our aunt was like the Sunday school teacher for a hot minute. Do you remember that, Skyler?
No, I don't.
in the basement of the church. There,
No, I had
I remember the
internet
basement.
hiccup.
in the basement of the church, they used to do Sunday school, and
I
I would
remember
go.
Sunday school. Yeah,
I
I'm
would
not a
probably
fucking
go
idiot.
6 times a year, and it was because they
Yeah.
had pancakes.
And I
Said,
remember, yeah. So anyway, it's like
Pancake
we would go. I don't think
Yeah,
she was.
but then
the,
it was like every other month on
Yeah.
Tuesday as well.
She
You know,
wasn't
like-
the like regular. Like I think she only did it for the summer or some shit. But it was basically like this is a way to get the kids out of the fucking
Pancakes,
church, and
yeah.
they're babysat downstairs, so they're not fucking talking
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the whole
totally.
thing.
Yeah.
And that was like
People
I
have
feel like the
sense.
most consistently we went to church was like one summer kind of thing because
1
it's like
month, yeah.
basically like you're gonna get babysat for an hour by your fucking aunt and just like she's gonna
What
read
that
a
probably
fucking Bible
means is you
story
went-
and color and
What
shit.
that probably means is you went 2 weeks in a row, right?
Yeah.
It's like you went 2 weeks in a row once, and it's like that's the most we ever went to church. Like that's
Well, even like now that you say that, I feel like that was just it. Like we went, like sooner or later you age out of Sunday school.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
I
I
mean, that was, like-
refuse it. I
I-
refuse
you-
it.
Once we
mid
aged
cheer
out
out
of
of
Sunday
it.
school and had to sit through the thing,
Yeah.
it was like we're not doing this. This is
No.
No.
It's
This is some
fucking
bullshit.
Dude,
R word.
it's so nice out right now. You want me to spend 4 hours of my
Yeah.
only day off, which
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
you know, as a kid is a big deal. Saturday you're busy as shit doing whatever. Sunday's your only day to fucking like really fuck shit up, you know?
Saturday,
want me to
got all
sit in
those
this
cartoons
church
to
and-
watch.
Yeah, exactly. There's no fucking pancakes. I'm not going. You know?
Yeah,
That's
fuck
where I draw the line at pancakes.
Yeah.
There better be fucking pancakes.
There better be
Dude.
pancakes.
Because it wasn't like I didn't have any friends at these. Like,
No,
at the
God,
church
no.
or
Those
anything.
kids
I
were
didn't know any
fucking
of the
weird.
I didn't want to know any of the smelly kids.
No.
Yeah. But like I do remember going to some like church functions of like picnics. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I've been to a
Yeah.
couple of those. Yeah.
There's been a
Holy
handful.
Yeah.
Cross
Because our
picnics.
fucking grandma, like the good one, was like knee deep in the religion.
Yeah, she was in that shit.
Yeah, my
for
dad's
sure.
parents were too. Yeah.
Right? And I remember going to. I remember it was fucking cool as shit. Like we went to like this picnic, and there was like one of those like Gatorade kegs, but it was full of like the McDonald's orange drink.
Drink.
No!
Yeah. And
Oh, wow.
Being like,
I would go
drinking-
every week for that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
drinking this Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
my
care if I
God.
get taken after. Like,
Not just regular orange drink, McDonald's orange drink.
yeah. That's,
Oh my
you know,
god.
I think it even had the like McDonald's logo on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, they got it
Oh.
from McDonald's, and it was
Oh
just
my
like,
lord.
this church has money. This is great. I
I'm
love
getting
it.
hard right now.
Yeah. There was another day that I almost got sexually assaulted.
That was so hard all day.
There's this little fucking kid with a boner right now.
Yeah, just hanging out by the cooler.
He's got fucking
Posting
orange
up.
circle around
Orange
his mouth.
around his mouth, yeah.
Rock hard boner.
That's how they identify the culprit. They look at
Asking
orange ring
for
around
it.
the pecker.
Yeah. You find me dead later, like an hour later, just dead with like the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah, I got instant diabetes. I mean, that orange drink though, like holy fuck, was that fucking just rainbows? It was rainbows in a fucking cup, you know, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's swing this all the way back to the beginning of the day. I've only really been
Ten
awake for
Cokes.
about an hour and a half. Totally wasted, drank till the sun came up this morning. And I'm just crushing Gatorades in one hand and wine in the other. And
That's piss.
Gatorade is the like adult version of McDonald's orange drink. Like
Yeah,
it's
see,
so
oh, yeah.
good. It's just pure
I don't think there's any
electrolytes.
excuse to drink Gatorade. That's my stance. Like, Gatorade's is not good enough to justify drinking that over a pop.
It is to me. I'm done with pops.
Nah.
I'm done with it.
Nah.
Gatorade. I feel so
Nah.
good. I can
If
just
I'm
like.
gonna drink shit, I want the worst shit. I want fucking orange pop. I want root beer. I'm not gonna fucking drink a Gatorade like a baby.
Hey,
You know?
I want
Fucking-
no nutritious value.
No, if I'm gonna fuck shit up, I'm gonna go all the way and get a root beer, dude.
It's like getting like a fucking.
There's how many grams of sugar, RJ? You're looking at 48
looking-
grams of sugar?
35.
And that, how many
Yeah.
servings in that? 2 servings. So 70 grams of sugar in that bottle. That's a week's worth of sugar, dude. One bottle of Gatorade. Have a fucking root beer like a man. Okay.
I don't know where it says like what is this like a serving. This is pure
I'm
bottle. Pure bottle. Which is one
Pure
serving.
bottle.
Like I'm gonna drink it all in one day. Like this isn't like I'm
Yeah,
not
okay.
fucking
I mean,
like
it's not
pouring
bad.
cups of it. I don't think
Not
it,
bad. I drink that sweet leaf tea, and if I drink that or pure leaf or whatever, if I drink a whole bottle of that, it's probably as much as a Gatorade.
Oh
But
man.
again, I'd rather have the fucking tea, you baby.
Yeah, but like no one has ever poured Gatorade in a cup. You just drink it right from the mouth.
Well, yeah, it's got the little sippy baby top on it and everything, you know, like.
Gatorade is definitely like getting a sex worker that looks just like your wife. You know?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're
can't
cuck.
stray too far.
No. I'm gonna cheat on my wife, but it's gonna look just like her.
That's actually kind of hot.
Yeah, she's good at
Yeah.
sex for a
If I was
change.
gonna,
Ooh.
if I had a wife and I was gonna cheat on her with a sex worker, I would definitely get one that looked as much like her as possible. I think that'd be kind of hot. And then I would think about that woman forever
Oh, yeah.
afterwards.
And then even
Yeah.
if she catches you, you could be like, "No, honey, that was you."
Yeah,
You could just
totally.
fucking trick her.
I thought it
Yeah.
was you.
You lost
No,
time.
just be
That's
like,
gnarly.
"Don't you
That's
remember
gnarly.
that night when I fucked you like that?" And that weird
If you're
woman walked
if
in?
you're good,
the clueless
Yell.
the clueless woman was screaming in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that? That irate woman? That wasn't you.
I mean, if you're gonna cheat on your wife, go big or go home. Like, you know, there's
That's
no
what I'm
point.
saying.
Like, don't have a wife if you're gonna cheat on her. How about that? Start there.
That's a good start.
Yeah, it's fair. But if you are going
You know.
to...
Yeah, go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Yeah. Make it so outlandish that you could like be like, I would never do that.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Are you
4
kidding
of them?
me?
What?
What? They only had one arm? No.
Tits as big as your head? What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
They were Asian?
Okay, we're at an hour. We're at an
I
hour.
don't know. Well, thank you, Bike Thieves, for supplying us with an intro. We're pretty much experts, and we're here every Thursday. Thanks. Bye.
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 Stuff my
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.